ACC basketball is presented by your local Ford dealer. Iconic Cameron Indoor Stadium on the campus of Duke University in Durham, North Carolina. The Cameron Crazies have not yet left for Thanksgiving break. That is bad news for Delaware as the number 7 team in the country, the Duke Blue Devils, get set to take on the Blue Hens from Newark. Hi, everybody. Bob Rathman, Mike Jaminski. Great to have you with us for ACC basketball tonight. Duke's a new team. We all know that with this influx of an incredible freshman class. But at the point, that's the one constant. Jeremy Roach, he's got a new team to lead now.
Well, and you've got continuity with John Shire as head coach from last year's Final Four team. And then Jeremy Roach was really a big part, Bob, of their march to that Final Four. Good holdover for them. When he's knocking down threes, this team is very difficult to beat, but they're going to rely on him for leadership, passing, all the things that a great backcourt player and the lineage that's been here at Duke have.
You play for a point guard, and you know what's coming. Yeah. And this Duke team is revved up and raring to go. We'll get to see Derek Whitehead tonight as well, cleared to play in his first game this evening. The opposition comes from the University of Delaware, and they've got 2 stars of their own in Jameer Nelson, a very familiar name, his dad, of course, and Jair Davis.
And Nelson, a big-time scorer, a transfer from George Washington, 18 points in each of his first 2 games. Davis, really a terrific player, can score, shoot the 3, good inside. This is a good 1-2 punch.
Our matchup tonight, Delaware at Duke. It's all yours next. Stay with us for ACC basketball tonight from Cameron Indoor Stadium, featuring the number 7 team in the country, the Duke Blue Devils.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts.
There was a moment of silence a moment ago to honor the lives of the Virginia football student athletes. That unspeakable tragedy last weekend in Charlottesville. Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry. They were remembered by all, and they will be with us forever. Now let's get set for this one as we take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. And for the visiting Blue Hens, we talked about Jameer Nelson Jr. and Jair Davis. They'll be joined in the lineup by Ebi Asamoah, Christian Ray, and L.J. Owens. Delaware comes in with 1 win and 1 defeat. For the homestanding Duke Blue Devils, 2-1, looking to bounce back after that loss against Kansas and Indianapolis on Tuesday night. Derek Lively, the 7'1" freshman from Philadelphia, will start tonight ahead of Ryan Young with Mitchell, Filipowski, Roach, and Proctor. Opening tip to the visitors.
And that trip, excuse me.
Ready to get started here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. And Delaware taking its sweet time. Milking that shot clock. Here is the drive, and off the high glass, a miss for L.J. Owens. He scraps for that rebound with 2 Blue Devils on him. Comes away with it up off his knees, and we've got a hell ball. So the arrow will give it to Duke. Let's take a look at our 4 keys to the game.
Well, and you saw in that first possession, Delaware is going to look to control tempo, Bob. They want to try to, milk the clock in each possession. For Duke, just maximize that size. They're really big up front. One of the best rebounding teams in the country to this point in the season.
Blue Devils. This pass goes behind Lively, and it's a turnover.
And that's been an issue early on. I mean, this is, guys are all trying to get on the same page. Lively's trying to get in shape coming off that calf injury.
Good hands by Lively. And another jump ball. The arrow will give it to Delaware.
That's the thing at shoot-around today. John Shire challenged his team to dominate this game, but not just on the offensive end of the floor. He wants them to dominate down at this end of the floor as well.
Mike, it reminds me a lot of a baseball player taking batting practice. You know, you could get in that cage and you could face BP and hit off a machine, but until you face live pitching, it really doesn't all come together. And there's a 3-ball by Davis to get the night started for Delaware. You've got to get the game action.
Absolutely. And, you know, practice. And, you know, Whitehead is going to see the court probably tonight for the first time, so all new for him. And I would think it's going to be until December that this team really gels if everybody stays healthy.
Delaware collapsed to the rim and knocked the ball away, but fouled in the process. And that foul is going to be charged to Asamoah.
Here's the look, and they've got guys in the front line that you can just throw the ball up to the rim and they'll go get it. Lively. Again, you know, with the injuries, the thing you have to do, the last hurdle is to trust in it, especially, you know, when you're talking about a calf, you're talking about lift, getting up to the rim.
Exactly. And Derek missed the opener. He debuted against South Carolina upstate. 7'1" freshman, his first opportunity at the foul line for the season. Misses the first and hits the second. 3-1 Delaware. And here comes the Duke pressure.
That's the thing, you know, try to make Delaware uncomfortable in this environment early on. A little token pressure.
Davis on the handoff. This is Jameer Nelson Jr. out of the double team. Davis, tough shot. And no whistle. Everybody thought there was a stoppage, but none. Instead, a
Yeah, he is just so good changing ends. Made a nice defensive play. Didn't get the block, but forced up a tough shot. And then in transition, not a lot of people are going to beat him in a foot race.
That ties the game at 3. L.J. Owens, grad student out of Annapolis, Maryland. Delaware opened with a win against a D2 team in Wilmington. There's a deflection. 5 on the shot clock. Wiggling into the lane, and the lay-in by Christian Ray is good.
Well, you look at Ray, and you know his points are a bonus. He's averaging 12 rebounds a game so far early for Delaware, but nice find. He had an easy layup.
If they can maximize possessions like that,
yep,
that's exactly what the doctor ordered. Nice move inside by Filipowski. Big, strong kid, the freshman out of New York.
Yeah, I like his game. Very fundamentally sound. Hasn't shot the ball well so far in the year, but that's going to come around.
Davis missing. Tipped out by Christian Ray, and it belongs to the Blue Devils. Third game in Cameron for the Blue Devils this season. Wins here over Jacksonville and South Carolina upstate. Roach backs it out. Mitchell. Lively goes cross court. Filipowski got it. Corner 3.
Well, Bob, the double team came from his man, and that was a good find out of the double team inside. A lot of times that's the last skill that a young big guy will learn, but terrific cross-court pass.
Filipowski 3 for 12 on 3-pointers prior to the game. Nelson had it flicked away. Recovered by L.J. Owens. He puts up the 3. Back irons. Proctor has it. Freshman from Sydney, Australia. Into the paint. Protects. Shoots. Scores. He's another Blue Devil, Mike, that's had a little rough start in terms of shooting the basketball. 4 for 21.
Yeah, just
19%.
trying to come over to the States and figure the game out here. But that was a nice find. And one of the things too, I mean, this Duke team is such a good offensive rebounding team. You can force the action a little bit inside. There's the good find in the 3 from the corner.
Timeout at Cameron. 10-5.
Toyotathon is on.
5. Let's talk, Mike, a little bit about Kyle Filipowski. It's time for tonight's Start to Watch, brought to you by Hardee's.
Well, we talked about it. He hasn't been shooting the ball that well, but rebounding, he's 7th in the country at 12 rebounds a game. first Duke freshman ever to start his career with 3 double-doubles. So, really solid. His minutes really expanded against Kansas, 33 minutes in that game. He's going to be a nice addition to this team inside and outside.
Delaware. And there is Filipowski, our hardy star to watch with his numbers so far. Delaware has this one rejected by Kyle. Down the floor, Proctor.
He just put his head down. It was a 1-on-2 break that time, and Proctor has really been attacking the basket the first 5 minutes of this game.
The Hens trying to, I was going to say try to sit on it, but that doesn't sound right for a Blue Hen.
Something may hatch. There you go.
The long three is good by Jameer Nelson. His dad, of course, was the great Jameer Nelson Sr. Unbelievable college player at St. Joe's, former National Player of the Year. Long-time NBA player. Filipowski now to the wing. Proctor inside. Boy, there was contact, and there's the whistle. And the foul on Jameer Nelson. We're getting ready to check in. Here comes Dariq Whitehead. And they are excited to see this young man. The 6'7" freshman. I mean, it's a toss-up who's the #1 player in that freshman class.
And they got both of them.
Yeah, and Whitehead is ready to go. He has had right foot surgery on August the 30th. The ball's knocked out of bounds. But this is the young man who led Montverde to back-to-back high school national championships.
Well, and he played there for 5 years. He went there as an 8th grader, and the list of players who he had as teammates is, he's played with big-time players in big-time games.
Like a who's who of basketball over the last 5-6 years. The guys he's played with down in Florida. Knocked away. This is Juan Marco Arletti, #4 for Delaware.
They're really locked in on Nelson. They're going to try to make other people beat them in this game.
Asamoah. His first two averaging 10.5 per game. 12 to 10.
He's a guy who can not only knock down threes, but get to the free throw line as well, Bob.
Mitchell. Easy look from 15. Kansas City, Kansas freshman makes it a 4-point spread. Davis.
Whitehead looking good on defense.
And corrals the rebound.
He's practiced for about 2 weeks, probably full contact for about a week up to this point.
Nice duck in. Beautiful move by Ryan Young. Good footwork.
The grad student from Northwestern. Really sound fundamentally. Not won't overpower you with his athleticism, but just really sound.
16 to 10. 45 is Nigel Shadd into the Delaware lineup. Again, the shot clock down to 3. This one bumped off the rim by Arletti. Twisting and turning to try to score his roach, and he's fouled. Well, I know you appreciate the footwork from a big man.
Yeah, it's just, Proctor now showing that he can dish as well, carried it in. Right, Young doing a great job, Bob, just, making himself available in the passing lane, and then an easy finish for him.
Free throw by Jeremy Roach. Jalen Blakes now is in for Duke. He wears number 2, the sophomore from Somerset, New Jersey.
And, right now I think Duke they're very comfortable playing 9 guys. And, when you can come off the bench with the #1 high school recruit in the country, that's a pretty deep squad.
Yes, it's called an embarrassment of riches is what it's called.
Exactly.
Jacob Grandison hits them both. 18-10 Duke. You talked about the defense on Nelson. Good pressure here on Owens and a takeaway. But Nelson just picked up his second foul to compound the problems for Delaware.
Let's see how long head coach Martin Inglesby goes with him with 2 fouls out on the floor.
Grandison. That goes off a foot out of bounds. And we have a timeout. 11:49 time remaining first half at Cameron. 18-10 Duke.
20th men's basketball head coach at Duke University, Jon Scheyer.
So I don't want to break any tradition yet. Do I need to spell my last name?
Now, other than Coach K, I'm not sure how many people were in the room for both press conferences, but that's exactly how Mike started it. KRZYCEWSKI.
Well, and you think John is hoping the next time they have to introduce guys 45 years from now? But there you see, one of the most decorated players in Duke history, and certainly paid his dues on the coaching staff here, and really has been a seamless transition for him.
And even Mike said he's much more prepared for this job than I ever was when I got here.
Well, think about, Mike coming from West Point. It was a culture shock coming down to this conference. John having lived it, just played in it, coached in it, was familiar with the whole territory. So, it makes sense that it was easier.
Pressure out front draws a foul on Jalen Blakes. His first tonight.
See, and with that depth, this Duke team can be hyper-aggressive defensively. They just have bodies that they can, and not just bodies, but, really talented players that can come in.
Nice baseline cut. Ray kicks it out. A baseline jump shot is a beauty. Nicely done by Kevin Riley, the freshman out of Arlington, Virginia.
Yeah, really sound. Just nice pump fake. Got himself an open look on the baseline.
18-12 Duke. First half from Cameron. A long bomb from the wing. Follow! And a foul. Grandison timed it perfectly.
Yeah, Bob. This team averaging 19 offensive rebounds a game. Now, that means your shooting percentage isn't great, but still you're cleaning up a lot of misses and just in the right place at the right time for Grandison.
Johnny McCoy, the personal.
When the one guy, Delaware couldn't afford to get him foul trouble, Jameer Nelson to pick up 2.
21-12. Just dipped under the 11-minute mark. Biggest lead tonight for the Blue Devils. Christian Ray hits the brakes. Then the defense evaporated.
The guy with the ball is pretty important. And a nice ball fake. He got both guys to move off of him.
21-14. Proctor, step back 3.
Well, Proctor scoring at all 3 levels so far in this game. Mid-range jump shot, got in for some layups, and now knocking down a 3.
And one hand's a rebound. Precocious might be the way best to describe him. He'll drive and get fouled. This foul on Jair Davis. It's his first of the game.
And, with with Jameer Nelson out, they needed him to step up, and he's now struggling. 1 of 6 so far in the game for Davis.
Proctor coming off 9 points, 3 boards, and 3 assists against the Jayhawks on Tuesday. A ton of international experience that he brings to the Blue Devils.
And how about, 5 rebounds and 2 assists to go with the scoring to this point as well.
Outstanding first half. 26-12.
And that's going to take a lot of pressure off of Roach, if he continues to make plays like he's doing.
26-14. Loose ball and out of bounds. This will belong to Delaware with 12 on the shot clock. Now Jameer Nelson will re-enter the game with his 2 personals at 9:47.
Well, one of 2 things. We'll see if Delaware maybe plays a little zone to try to hide him defensively, or, wherever he's guarding, I think Duke attacks him to try to pick up that 3rd foul.
Davis. 2 free throws coming. Derek Lively committing his first foul.
And that's a good idea for Lively to try to attack him defensively. Coming off an injury, your lateral movement may not be where it's going to be in a week, 2 weeks or so.
And now a quick message from Works Nitro.
Meet Works Nitro. Powerful tools for any project with gas-like power without the gas. Fueled by PowerShare batteries to give you the power to outperform.
(26-16).
Delaware is in a 1-2-2 zone right now.
Blake's dialed in on that 3. Confident stroke.
Another holdover from last year. Didn't get a lot of playing time, but opportunity here, and boy, what a terrific split right there.
Nelson has 5. Filipowski. Duke ball. For the Devils, Jeremy Roach coming back in, as well as Ebi Asamoah for Delaware. Already the Blue Devils with 8 different scorers in this game. To underscore your point, Mike, about the quality depth on this team.
And the only one who hasn't scored is Whitehead, who is seeing his first action here tonight of the year.
Proctor. And a jam follow for Lively. Wow.
Well, he is just such a live body, quick off the floor, got inside position on the offensive glass.
And a push here against Jeremy Roach, and that will be his first. A look at Lively. He is lively.
Yes, he is. Very bouncy. So long, too, and if you're going to block him off, Bob, you've got to do it 3 or 4 feet from the basket, or he'll just play right over the top of you.
Yeah, as the coaches say, do your work early.
Yes, sir.
31-18. Nelson. Delaware with an offensive rebound. Pump fake. Lively's not buying it. The great defense results in a block shot.
Kept his feet on those pump fakes and forced a tough shot.
Filipowski.
Look, Kyle is not afraid to pull the trigger on those shots. Not bashful.
And a nice drive here by Nelson. Draws the contact. The foul on Lively is his second. Next week, the Blue Devils will have Bellarmine here. Scott Davenport brings in the Louisville Slayers.
The third straight conference reigning champion that they'll play in a row.
And then it's the Phil Knight Legacy out in Portland, where Duke will play Oregon State first on November the 24th. Then either Florida or Xavier That's an 8-team tournament. A great field again out at the Moda Center and the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Portland. 31-18. You played in the Vet back in the day.
What's that?
Veteran Memorial Coliseum in Portland?
Yeah, way back in the day.
You set some records in that place, right?
Yeah, they were they 33s or 45s?
31-19. Turnaround for Roach. Offensive foul.
And that's the third on Nelson.
We have a timeout. 7:36. The time remaining in our first half. It's Delaware and Duke. Live from Cameron Indoor Stadium. Back after this.
Good idea.
On Valley Sports South.
Duke 31, Delaware 19. Bob Rathman, Mike Jaminski back with you at Cameron Indoor Stadium. And ACC fans get to know this young man, Tyrese Proctor. He's been impressive.
Yeah, his first 2 games, 5 points total. Started to feel better in the Kansas game and really has blossomed here early in the first 20 minutes. Doing it all, layups inside, getting out on the open floor. He can finish in the paint area. He's knocked down a 3. He's got some 5 rebounds and a couple assists as well. Really nice numbers for him early.
Would you classify him as a combo guard?
You know what? It's almost like it's a throwback to like the 70s where there were guards.
Yes.
You know, like he and Roach, I think, are just like they're guards. You know, they can make plays, they can score, they can do a lot of things. Like, you know, rather than put a 1 or a 2 or a combo or whatever, he's just a guard.
Proctor has 5 rebounds so far tonight. Delaware's team total is 5. 31-19.
Now for Duke, there's only 7 misses in the game, and they've gotten some offensive rebounds too. So.
Whoa, that's going to be an offensive foul as Mitchell had his elbow right in the throat of the defender.
Yeah, just the you know, and he had position, really didn't have to do that, and it's just it's just a little over anxious freshman move, trying to, get in the action.
Christian Ray. Now Davis needs some help. Look at the 7-footer move his feet. And a 3-ball for Kevin Riley. He's been impressive off the bench. 31-22, nice feet underneath. And the lane is good by Ryan Young.
As opposed to his teammates, he's going to play below the rim, but he's got some great pump fakes inside. He has a knack for finding space.
A driving Christian Ray gets rid of it. Davis, but stepping out of bounds was Riley.
There's the watch the pump fake right here. Good delivery. No real shot blocker out there for Delaware, but still made a nice use of the rim.
Coming over, of course, from Northwestern, playing for Chris Collins. A ton of Duke history of his own.
I was going to say a Duke to Duke coach transfer.
Delaware ball with 6:09 to go in the first half. Ryan Young, a contact issue.
And you know what? The way Duke has played, just the eye test, you would have thought this lead would be a lot bigger right now. Delaware kind of hanging in there. An 11-point game.
Speaking of the eye test,
yeah,
trying to put your contact back in on the move like this. Very impressive.
And they're giving players a lot more latitude. You see the Duke transfers, which they haven't done a lot in the portal up to this year, but 4 of them coming over.
But it certainly speaks to the fact that you've got, even though they weren't in this program, experienced college basketball players to go with all these freshmen.
And I would think maybe that, John Shire going forward, that's how this team may be built. You're gonna attract the best out of high school and the prep schools and sprinkle in some of those older guys from the and the guys they brought in, a couple from the Big Ten, Power 5 conferences.
Been through the wars.
Yep.
Now getting a taste, or they will, of ACC action. 33-22. Christian Ray makes his move, gets rid of it. Nice pass, sets up Davis for the three.
Those are the shots you have to knock down. I know it's pressure, but he was wide open. It was a terrific find.
Back to the basket, Ryan Young. Nice cut on the baseline. What a move by Whitehead.
Wow, and if you're Whitehead, it's exactly what you need. A nice, easy bucket to, that's your first score in the game, and a great find from the pivot.
Off the front of the rim, loose ball to Roach. Now Whitehead will drive it from the wing. And we're going the other way. This foul is going to be on Ryan Young, I believe, for a push. Here's the first Duke field goal for Mr. Whitehead.
Yeah, you see Young, and his, for Whitehead's guy, just completely lost where he was, and the guy turns his head, back cut, very fundamental basketball.
6'7" out of Newark.
Bob, he of the freshman, he looks old. Like you think of the freshmen for Duke last year, they all look like men. He looks like a grown man.
Yes. L.J. Owens. His first free throw of the season is a success. 35-23. Played at William & Mary, so back in the Colonial after a tour of duty at UMBC.
And had 11 points in their opener against Wilmington, fouled out against Air Force.
35-24. And a blocking foul will send Blakes to the line. .504 first half. And Jalen Blakes steps up.
And I like the ball handling for Duke here in this game early on. 8 assists, only 2 turnovers so far in the game, shooting a very high percentage at 59%. Very efficient game.
Blakes hits the second for his 4th point. 36-24. Owens against Roach. Loose ball. Duke's got it. Stolen back by Delaware. Still loose on the deck. And we've got a foul coming on the Blue Devils. It's going to be on Whitehead.
There's the play. Everybody wanted to pick the ball up and advance it, and they're going to. I think he was just going for the ball. They called him called a trip on that. I don't know about that one, Bob. But love the hustle. The willingness to get on the floor and get after the basketball.
Front end secured by Riley. Quite the shooter, as we saw in that 3-ball a little bit earlier in the half from Bishop O'Connell High School in Arlington, Virginia. Hit 41% of his threes in high school. Obviously, this is a little different animal up here, but it certainly suggests that this guy is a shooter. 36-26. Nice cut. And the jam by Grandison.
I really like the offense running through Ryan Young. He makes good decisions, and guys are just cutting at will.
And a nice slithering move by Davis.
Yeah, they desperately need him to get going offensively.
He's got 7. Their big star, Jameer Nelson Jr., saddled with foul difficulty here in this first half. He's got 3 and has scored but 5. Hiking up the three, Arletti. Kevin Riley. There's that touch we're talking about.
And fundamentals. The pump fake, the little side dribble.
Delaware's cut this thing to 7. A timeout at 3:56 of the opening half. Duke 38 and Delaware 31. More coverage from Cameron Indoor Stadium right after this.
This is
When you touch it, good things happen. It gets everybody involved, and Duke, I think, Mike, tonight has shared the basketball extremely well.
And still, they're looking at 9 assists, 2 turnovers, very good decisions, and especially out of the post, too. Guys cutting to the basket, taking what the defense gives them.
But Delaware has come back, and they have gone on a 6-0 run of their own to cut this back to 7. And you mentioned it earlier. They've found a way to hang in this game without Nelson.
No, and Riley is the one who has stepped up for him in 10 points in 8 minutes. He's perfect from the floor. Has knocked down a couple of threes.
Banging is Mitchell. And the rebound belongs to Christian Ray of Delaware. Blue Hens finding a way to get some rebounds.
Well, and more importantly, defensive rebounds, keeping Duke off the glass for second chance opportunities.
Open in the corner here is Riley again, in and out.
Still a nice find cross court.
And a pickoff. Step through, lay-in is good by Arletti. His first basket, and Delaware's within 5.
And that's, again, a good confidence builder for Arletti. He's not shot the ball well this year so far. Maybe that gets him going. They're finding offense from other people out on the floor with Nelson out of the game.
Tyrese Proctor to the basket. That's blocked. Riley got the block that time. A spin around by Owens, no. Filipowski around the rim and in. That's 7 for Kyle.
And you know what? If he's a tough cover, because if you put a shorter person on him to take away the outside, he can hit that mid-range or post shot.
Davis. And again, Delaware working the clock just a bit. Arletti from the corner. Mitchell boards.
Well, in this stretch, I don't think that the coaching staff for Delaware can be upset with the looks that their team is getting. They're getting good shots.
Catch and shoot for Proctor.
The shooting percentage for Duke starting to come down after a very, very quick start.
Delaware with the ball down 7. 68 seconds left in the half. Arletti rocks and gets it back out now to Owens. And a little too physical that time by Grandison.
Well, and Bob, just not a good foul because only 6 seconds on the shot clock right there. That possession really going nowhere for Delaware, and he just really bailed them out.
And in the bonus is Delaware. Stay tuned for the Toyota Halftime Report, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. We'll have our driven segment featuring head coach John Shire of Duke. Front end missed. And Duke's going to take a timeout. 56.8 seconds remaining here in this first half. So a chance for Delaware to maybe cut it to 5, but the front end of the 1-and-1 missed.
Yeah, those are tough. I mean, their margin for error very slim, but really a nice job, because the last 4 minutes of a half is where Duke can get a spurt. They can score a bunch of points and stretch the game out, but Delaware has really managed this last few minutes very well.
And the Blue Hens bring a championship pedigree to Durham tonight.
Yep.
These are the reigning Colonial Athletic Association champs. And a mild surprise, they got hot when it counted the most, and they went on to the NCAA tournament. They lost to Villanova in the first round, but what a moment for Blue Hen basketball and head coach Martin Inglesby.
And they are looking for their very first win against a top 10 opponent. And they've not beaten a ranked opponent either.
And when I found out today that Martin's dad, Tom, used to play for the Hawks, that got me excited.
I can imagine. Was he on one of your boards at one point in time?
As a matter of fact. Oh, a tip is good. And getting up is Grandison.
Oh, they've got some live bodies along that front line.
Yes, they do. 42-33 Duke. Arletti,
wow.
Beautiful.
Good answer.
Comes back with a three, 42-36. Shot clock is off. Jeremy Roach down the wing. Looking inside, but the overplay. Now it's a bounce to Filipowski. He moves in. That's going to be a travel. So Delaware will get another crack at it here with 5.2.
Plenty of time to get up the floor and get a shot. Let's see what Duke throws at. And if you're Duke, you don't want to foul and put them at the free throw line in this situation.
Grandison out, and Blake's back in. Delaware is going to sub in Kevin Riley.
And Duke needs to lock in on him. He's had a terrific first half.
Full court pressure. They don't have a lot of time. 3 seconds. 2. Pulling from D gets blocked. And the half is history. Davis tried to launch one, but the defensive stop protects the Duke lead at 6 as we have reached halftime here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Number 7 Duke roared to a big lead early, but Delaware chipped away, hit some threes, and they have fought back to within 6 here at the break. Halftime score, Duke 42, Delaware 36. Back with our halftime report in just a moment. It's brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. By CPI Security. CPI home security that protects what matters most. And by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. He has bled Duke blue since he arrived on campus as a freshman. Led this team to the national championship at 2010. And now he's the 20th head coach in Duke history. Tonight's Toyota Driven spotlights Duke's head coach, Jon Scheyer.
This is Driven, Jon Scheyer, presented by your local Toyota dealers.
I've learned a ton from Coach K through the years. If I had to pick one thing that as it relates to starting my head coaching career, is really always looking yourself in the mirror before others. He's a demanding coach, right? Coach K demands a lot from his players and has found a way to motivate them to bring the most out of them, but not before doing that for himself. And after some of the toughest losses, the toughest moments that I've experienced with him, he starts with himself first. How did he prepare? What could he have done differently? The responsibility ends with me, starts with me. After I analyze myself in any situation, then I'll coach others and go from there. But I've learned that, and it's a great lesson for me. I experienced it firsthand, just what the power of Duke University and the people that have supported me beyond basketball. For me, it's not about bringing something different. It's about continuing the culture and the values that this program has been about for a long time. And I experienced that as a player, as a coach, and now as a head coach.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you all the 20th men's basketball head coach at Duke University, Jon Scheyer.
The support has been incredible. incredible. And I think it speaks to what a special place Duke is, but also what a special program that we have with Duke basketball. Really, to me, is what makes it special is we're all in this together. You know, we need everybody. We need our students at the games. We need every single player that's on our team, and we need every person that's out there in the Duke family to step up and make sure we carry this forward in the right way. And I take great responsibility in that. I'm excited, but the support has been incredible and couldn't be more thankful for it.
Driven, John Shire is presented by your local Toyota dealers. The all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
Toyotathon is on. It's the most magical time of the year with great deals on
Valley Sports South, the network of your favorite teams.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Report, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. At the break here at Cameron Indoor, number 7 Duke leading Delaware 42-36. A game that, quite frankly, Duke dominated the first half of the first half, and they did it at both ends of the floor. Defensively, they were great. They moved the basketball, built a 13-point lead.
Yeah, they really were locked in defensively early in this game. John Shire challenged them at shoot-around today to dominate that end of the floor. And, for the eye test, like I said, you look at it and say, Duke's up by 20 at this point, but Delaware's hung in there. Nice job off the break, and they've also done a really good job, especially out of the post, finding cutters and jump shooters as well. Really nice offense there. Good back cut. Whitehead getting on the floor for the first time, and then this is what Duke has been doing, getting on the offensive glass.
Our Continental Tire recap, and you see the offensive rebounding, which will really separate this Duke team from a lot of clubs over the course of the season. Their ability to get on the offensive glass.
Yeah, they're so long up front. They've got multiple position players who can go in there and get on the glass. It's not just their 4s and 5s, but you see Duke points in the paint, a big advantage there. Bench points, Delaware had some people step up, and they've clawed and hung in this game.
Duke had 10 assists and 4 turnovers in that first half of play. They blocked 3 shots along the way. As we mentioned, led by as many as 13, but Delaware got hot from 3, and they have cut this back to 42-36 at halftime. We will continue with more of our halftime in just a moment as Duke leads Delaware 42-36. We'll be right back.
Football on Valley Sports. The ACC is out to prove it's a conference to be reckoned with. Are you kidding me? ACC football all season long on Valley Sports South, presented by your local Ford dealer.
ACC basketball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By the Works Nitro, available at worksnitro.com. And by the Fresh Market, voted #1 best supermarket in America. Halftime continues here at Cameron Indoor Stadium with Duke leading Delaware 42-36. Let's bring you up to date on the scores. This was a sneaky good game earlier today in Charleston, the Penn State-Virginia Tech game. The Hokies prevailed in that one 61-59. LaSalle and Wake, this was at the Jersey Mike's Jamaica Classic, and the Deacons win this one by a dozen, 75-63. The Virginia-Baylor game has reached the half in Las Vegas. Baylor is up by 3, 33-30. Notre Dame 6 up at home against Lipscomb. In action around the ACC. Other scores shaping up this way. Clemson leading Bellarmine by 5 at the break. Boston College and George Mason, that's in the Paradise Jam, coming up at 8 o'clock. And the Gators take on the Seminoles, a reeling Florida State ball club. Now, coming up tomorrow, you've got Elon going over to Raleigh, a 1 o'clock game against NC State. Northeastern will take on Syracuse, and that Miami-Providence game is the Hall of Fame tip-off game at 4 p.m. tomorrow. We will continue with our second half here from Durham, with Duke leading Delaware 42-36. Back in a moment.
There will always be bumps.
Kick off your weekend with college football on Valley Sports. ACC football all season long on Valley Sports Sound and streaming on the Valley Sports app.
Good ball game as we get set for the start of the second half. John Shire's Duke Blue Devils hosting Delaware, and the Blue Devils are on top 42-36, just about ready to start our second half of play. Always a pleasure to be with the Duke legend, an ACC legend, one of the greatest players this conference has ever produced, Mike Jaminski, back at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Been a while for you to come back.
It really is. It's been a couple of years. COVID was a rough stretch for everybody, but always a special place for me, Bob.
No question. Filipowski lays it in.
Yeah, he really got great position in the paint, deep in the paint.
44-36.
Keep an eye on Jameer Nelson for Delaware. Was foul trouble that whole first half. Let's see if he can get going here early for them.
Good save by Asimova. Comes off the screen, firing. His second field goal, the senior from Rockville, Maryland, 44-38.
He's been quiet. He's their third double-figure scorer, so a few more points from him would certainly help the cause.
Filipowski cut off, bounce into the middle. Oh, what a pass by Lively.
How about the three freshmen moving the ball that time amongst themselves? Nice work at close quarter.
Owens, little daylight in the lane, had to arc it up and off the glass.
Tough finish for him in traffic.
Filipowski, a spin move. Loose ball picked up by L.J. Owens. That is the fifth Duke turnover. Owens. Back to the basket is Ray. That's flicked away. And 11 on the Delaware shot clock.
You know what's impressed me on that, Filipowski's ability to defend away from the interior. He's done a nice job keeping people in front 25 feet from the basket.
46-40 Blue Devils. And that's going to be a travel. Nelson took it to the floor with him.
Just so anxious to get into the offense, lift his team up. Frustrating for him to be on the bench for most of that first half.
And you still, Mike, he tripped a little bit here, but you still have to let the game come to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he's got to be careful, too, on drives to the basket. He didn't pick up an offensive foul that way.
To the top and Proctor. Middle ball screen by Filipowski. And we got a hold, yeah. That was on Asimova. He almost ripped somebody's arm out of the sock. Second foul on Ibby. Out of bounds underneath for the Blue Devils. We did get to see Derek Whitehead in that first half. Wonder how much he'll play in the second as Mitchell takes it up and gets fouled. The foul on Christian Ray is his first of the evening. Well, shooting foul sends Mitchell to the stripe.
And the things with injuries too, Bob. With Whitehead, you're warmed up. You go out and you play in the first half. You just wonder about a guy sitting there getting a little cold. If you got a good warm up in the second half, they may give him some minutes early. But I thought in flashes he played pretty well for his first action.
Mark Mitchell hits them both. He's got 4, had 18 in the opener against Jacksonville. 48-40 Duke. Owens at the top, firing the 3. Filipowski clears. Beautiful motor by Roach. He stepped down the gas.
Yeah, and nobody stepped up to stop the advance of the basketball, and that's what you have to do with him initially.
Duke by 10. Nelson passed in traffic.
Too many hands.
Roach spins, left tee off the glass, no.
Everything but the finish.
Asimova takes the 3.
So much for controlling the tempo for Delaware. Some quick shots.
Mitchell steps through and lays it in.
Yeah, it's a good timeout. Things were getting away from Delaware.
Duke takes the lead to a dozen. Mark Mitchell goes in, a nice move to free himself. And Duke goes up 12, 52-40.
Southeast.
Time for a little surfing here in Durham. 52-40 Duke leads Delaware. Let's have a look at our fresh market Discover the Best feature of the game. And I'm sitting next to a guy that is part of this ACC legacy onto professional basketball. 25 former Blue Devils on current NBA rosters, the second most of any school. 84 players from this conference in the NBA.
But you know what, Bob, that's just a fact of if you want to compete and win in this league, you've got to have guys who are going to play at the next level.
Yes.
I mean, North Carolina have done it. That's why Virginia has made their jump in these last 10 years. That's the type of talent you have to have.
Exactly. Catch and shoot, Filipowski. And Delaware wins the rebound.
They're so locked in on Nelson.
What a tough shot.
Yeah, and he created something out of nothing that time. Great finish.
52-42. Mitchell, strong move to the glass. Give the Blue Hens credit. They have found a way to stay in this game.
Well, and they've kept Duke off the offensive glass. The shooting percentage coming down, only 5 offensive rebounds for Duke to this point. They average 19.
Pull up for Davis. Baseline cut intended for Filipowski, and the pass intercepted. Nelson gives it up. Asimova. Nope. It remains a 10-point spread. 5 minutes have elapsed in the second half. Jeremy Roach off the pick. Back to the basket, Young. That's taken away. And a foul on Ryan, his second.
Good active hands on the double team coming over that time.
And that brings us to a timeout.
Pretty good answer by Delaware after that big spurt.
10-point game, and the Blue Hens have it when we come back.
Insurance companies claim they'll be there for you.
If that sounds like...
Duke leading it by 10, 52-42. Bob Rathman, Mike Jaminski with you. Delaware got down 13, Mike. They cut it back to 6 in that first half behind the 3-ball. Now, they don't have one yet in the second half, but they were on it late in the first half.
Yeah, five threes in that first half kept them in it. Some pretty good looks, stretching the defense. Cross-court passes. I thought that Riley really gave them a terrific lift in that first 20 minutes. He's hit 2 of the 5 threes for them. And they keep hanging around, and so credit for them. There's the preseason poll for the Colonial. Towson really good. I've seen Charleston. They're going to be very good in that league. Gave Carolina all they wanted last week.
52-42 is our score. Turnaround for Davis, and it's an 8-point game.
And they're challenging the post guys to defend one-on-one inside, and that was a very patient move.
Floor spread here for the Blue Devils. Whitehead is checked back in for Duke, his second stint. This is he. Pull up. Nelson the board. Nelson running the floor inside. Now they kick it out. The 3-ball by Arletti. No.
Again, you really can't complain about the looks Delaware's got and just not taking advantage of them.
0 for 4 on threes in the second half. Rolling it off the rim is Ryan Young. Nelson again behind the back. Roach has had him in his sights all night.
Yep, done a nice job and keeping him in front.
Davis again. Run out rebound for Proctor.
And Proctor's been a little quiet offensively in the second half.
Nice running the floor right straight down the pipe. Ryan Young.
Old-time Wes Unseld used to say the shortest distance is a straight line, and that's exactly what Ryan Young did on that drive.
54-44. Blocked from behind. Ryan Young.
Here's the look. And, Nelson just barely 6'1", and good help side defense from behind.
Arletti lays it in. 54-46. The junior from Italy has given the Blue Hens a lift off the bench. Roach lobbing, but that one high and wide, intended for Lively.
Yeah, I said Lively's bouncy, but not that bouncy.
Eight turnovers for Duke. They had 4 at halftime. Again, Delaware has a chance to knife into the lead. A little bit more here. They missed a 3 that would have cut it to 5. This one's picked off but out of bounds for Whitehead.
Really nice job reading the passing lane that time, because Nelson was wide open. If that pass gets made, he has a good look at a jump shot.
Shot clock at 6. Nelson hits the hard and a charge. That's number 4. Now the referees are getting together. Justin Porterfield has come over to talk to Jeffrey Clark.
I didn't think it was a charge. They may be reversing this call.
I wonder if the restrictive area is coming into play.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to give that to Lively, because he was the one, he kind of turned sideways and then reached in and initiated the contact.
Actually, they've called it, I believe, on Roach. So it'll be his second. And Nelson.
Wow, that was
a chance at the line tonight, and he missed it.
And a very fortunate reversal right there
Yes.
for Delaware instead of him having his 4th foul.
Nelson splits the pair, 54-47. Roach gives it up. Grandison. Couple of dribble handoffs for Whitehead. He swings it. Blakes. Oh, look out. Everybody getting up. Roach, okay.
Arletti was the one flying through the air that time, picking up the foul. That was dangerous.
Talk about taking a fake hook, line, and sinker. But fortunately, everybody's okay. 11:48. Look out below. 54-47 Duke at 11:48 of the second.
CMAX presents The Cycle of Savings.
Delaware 54-47. Time for tonight's CPI Security, protecting the paint. Mike Jaminski, Duke showing off its great length and instincts.
Well, that's the thing. Length really pops to my mind when you look at this team at just about every position. And nice job hitting the floor right there. And, for a young team, the offensive end is the first thing to come. The defense is going to be the last thing to come. But this team has a chance to be a very, very good defensive ball club.
And looking to pass this test tonight. Duke was a heavy favorite coming into this one. But Delaware, despite the fact that Jameer Nelson has been in foul trouble from the start, they've hung in this game.
But Bob, we've seen games where it's early in the season and there's a lot of talent around the country. And we've seen mid-major teams hang in games.
Yes, sir.
There have been very few blowouts.
Off the bounce, Roach misses. The rebound belongs to Duke and Blakes. Whitehead. Baseline spin. Roach. He just muscled that one in.
He's the shortest Duke player. He was buried in amongst Delaware guys, and he comes up with the ball. Not only that, but a chance for a three-point play. Look at this. Just getting down, getting control of the ball, and the finish inside. Terrific play.
Arletti with the reach in, his second foul. And a free throw for Jeremy Roach. And he's got his 7th point of the night. Nelson over the timeline. 11:15 to play. Side step 3 for Arletti.
Filipowski with his length, able to get out there, bother that jump shot.
Catch and shoot, Grandison, good. First 3 of the night, just his 3rd of the year.
Yeah, 2 of 12 coming in before that.
13-point lead, matches Duke's biggest. And a foul.
Well, nice job that time by Nelson. Seeing the big switch that time, you drive right at that player, try to pick up the foul.
Lively's 3rd, side out for Delaware. Picked off. Blakes. Timeout Delaware. Jalen Blakes. Hiding in the weeds.
And it was the smothering double team on Nelson that really facilitated that pickoff. Watch this. He's just got people all around him. Great anticipation by Jalen Blakes.
.10:37 left in our second half. And the Blue Devils create a little bit of breathing room on this 8-0 run to go up 62-47.
And Delaware, they're forced to call that timeout. Things kind of slipped away from only one timeout left, but they've taken these situations and they've had an answer. Let's see if they've got one for this.
A reminder, friends, to stay tuned for the Fast Break presented by your local Ford dealer. Duke's biggest lead of the night at 15, 10:37 to play. Tremendous balance in the Duke scoring tonight, getting lots of contributions.
Everybody who's played has scored. And you know what, with Whitehead, you can see what's there. just the timing and game shape, not quite, obviously not there yet.
Dipping the toe into the pool.
Yeah, hey, this is, it's the perfect opportunity for that to happen. And they, maybe get some court time against Bellarmine and then that big trip out west.
Blue Devils coming back out into the court. .62-47, and now Delaware will go the 94 feet to get this thing restarted here. Heavy Asamoah plays it in. Here comes Jameer Nelson. His season high is 18. Nelson has been held to 8 tonight. He has been a marked man by the Duke defense.
Man, it's the personal foul number that's held him down.
Duck in for Davis and a foul.
For the most part, they've really tried to attack Lively one-on-one in the post. I think he's done a decent job without any double team help, not fouling, even though, he gets called for that one.
2 free throws for Jair Davis. Last season, a freshman sensation. Great down the stretch over his last 14 games, averaged 16 points and 7 rebounds for Delaware. But this one rims out. He was the Rookie of the Year in the Colonial and the tournament MVP.
And has a string of 16 straight double-figure scoring games going, so very, very consistent.
And he missed both free throws, so he's sitting on 9 still. 62-47.
I'll take the blame for that.
Yes, the
bringing up
broadcaster's jinx.
There you go.
Oh, boy, at the rim. And a foul on Delaware. Boy, Roach got up in the air. And then the contact by Asamoah.
Here it is. Really, I think, if he had just gone for the layup, he probably would have scored it, but you really have to admire the aggressiveness. That's big-time play. It's a pretty good challenge, too, at the rim.
Roach with his 8 points. He came alive in that NCAA tournament. I'm not sure the Blue Devils make it to the Final Four without him.
No, they don't.
64-47. Owens backs it out. A drive by Davis. Rebound, Young. Filipowski, step through, lay-in, good.
Boy, he is, for 7 feet tall, pretty versatile. Showing that he's, he can post up, he can knock down the 3, and a nice little dribble drive that time.
Delaware's gone 3 minutes and 40 seconds without a bucket. They need one desperately and get it here on the lean-in lay-in by L.J. Owens.
Good move.
Blakes for 3, in and out. And we've got a foul on Delaware. Asamoah, his 4th.
Well, he's got plenty of room to maneuver here. Just a good up and under. And Bob, you look at this Duke team. Is it going to evolve into a really good three-point shooting team?
I'd say yes.
They got the chance, and it just hasn't been a big part of their game up to this point in this game.
And a 20-point lead for Duke, 69-49.
Just like that, very explosive.
Owens trying to find some daylight. Throws it up on the glass and pulled out by Young. Blake's feet set. Splash. And the Crazies respond in kind. 72-49 and 18-2 Duke run.
22 points off the bench now for Duke.
And a travel on Davis.
Here's what everybody's just compressed, getting back in transition, you know, and Blake's just finding the open seam.
(72-49) is our score, and here come the Devils looking for more.
I'll just be curious to see, you know, as this lead grows, you know, does Whitehead go out there and get a little bit more time out on just court time at this? You know, you alluded to that earlier. Is so important. You know, do you get him a few minutes here in a blowout game?
Second foul on Filipowski. 7:53 left at Cameron. This is the Fast Break presented by your local.
Present this name across the chest. I mean, obviously, like you said, it's a brotherhood. And then at the end of the day, you have a target on your back, so you have to be just cautious. And on the court, you have to be hungry because everybody's coming at you. We definitely use it as motivation because, I mean, you either hate Duke or you love Duke. So, I mean, we use a lot of the hate as motivation to just go out there and play hard for 40 minutes.
Very special, very historic program. Everyone knows about it. But, you know, I'm blessed to be here. But at the end of the day, it's about what we do this season on the court. Got to earn the name a little bit, earn your stripes. The overall team mindset is we got a lot to prove, first of all. Hear everybody talking about we got all new people, you know, new coaching staff after what Coach K built. But, you know, at the end of the day, we all have the same vision. We want to win, and that's the expectation, and we're going to do everything we can to meet that.
That was our Fast Break. Now a quick message from Ford.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the new Ford Bronco Sport for everyone. With 7 available go modes and a camera with off-road views. It's built for America.
Kick off your weekend with college football on Bally Sports. The ACC is out to prove it's a conference to be reckoned with. Are you kidding me? ACC football all season long on Bally Sports South, presented by your local Ford dealer.
Duke 72, Delaware 49, 7:53 left in our second half. Marco Arletti ready to inbound it here for the Blue Hens. This is Riley. Had such a good first half shooting the ball. A little long on this one.
Yeah, and I think he got the coach's attention with the first half that he had. They've been locked in on him defensively.
This one blocked. As Nigel Shad came up big. .21 on the Duke shot clock. That one, I think Shad got a piece of that one.
Yeah, he's been a factor in a couple of plays here. It's the first time we've seen Proctor get really aggressive in the second half.
Proctor got it again.
Nice clean look out of the inbounds play. .74-49. Arletti trying to get to the corner. Duke takes it away. Proctor tried to tee up Young down the middle. Picked up by Filipowski. He lays it home. They bailed him out that time, and Proctor's, he got caught up in the air without a real good pass to make, and he got bailed out by a teammate.
Arletti smothered. A lot of tall trees on this campus.
Oh man, there's some size out there for this Duke team. And they can just reload going to the bench too. Not a lot of drop off along those 4, 5, and 3 positions. And then, you know, when Whitehead gets into shape, give you another wing, a big wing.
And a beautiful follow inside by Nelson. That gives him 11.
Yeah, he's been able to manage to this point. He had that close call picking up the 4th, but he's been foul-free in the second half.
Personal foul on Johnny McCoy. His second. 17 fouls now on Delaware. So free throws. And this will send Kyle Filipowski to the line. Coming off a career best 17 against Kansas a couple of nights ago. Misses the front end here. And again, poked away. And out of bounds to Duke. Oh, you got to love the hustle. Just never give up on the ball. Jeremy Roach waits for the screen. Takes the 3. Oh, nice touch. Didn't roll in for Filipowski.
He set that high screen and then just got great position on the offensive glass.
Nelson. Delaware.
Tough night for him.
Yeah. And the 3 ball was their friend, Mike, in that first half. They were 0 of 8 in the second. Whitehead. The basket is going to count, and a foul inside on Delaware.
Well, here's the shot, and he's had trouble getting him to fall so far, but friendly roll there at home. And just, you know, at this point, Duke's depth and size just really wearing Delaware down.
And on the foul, Davis commits his second. Filipowski's going to get a 1-and-1. Jalen Blake's back in. And Tyrese Proctor out.
And how about Proctor? A double-double for him. 13 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists.
I would say.
Have a night.
First of many.
Yes, sir.
What a talent. Filipowski hits the second shot and gives way to Derek Lively. 5:28 left. Nelson hooks it back up top. Riley missed the 3. Nelson comes up with the offensive rebound. Needs help, but turns it over. Shovel it to Mitchell. 82-51.
Well, and this team can really change ends of the floor, too.
Sir. Lot to like about this ball club. Nelson blocked. Lively gets another one. And a foul to boot. And that's going to be his 5th.
Well, Nelson, he's not going to quit, and it was the follow through that and the body contact right there.
So Derek Lively calls it a night. Scores 5. And Jacob Grandison will come and take his place.
But and you look at it, Duke's got 3 guys with 4 assists in the game, Lively being one of them. And they've gotten some good passing out of their front line as well. And they can suffer a foul out from him. They've got guys behind him who can come in and play.
That's a great sign for these freshmen that are learning their way. Playing team basketball, moving that rock. 82-52. Blakes. Whitehead for 3. Picking it up, Blakes left it short. It was contact, no foul.
And I think he was more worried about where the contact was coming from than actually finishing the shot.
And the jump stop turned by Davis.
And this, what Duke has out there right now, probably their shortest lineup that they've put out there this evening. Not a lot of big.
Streak goes to 17.
With this lead, that John Shire can tinker a little bit and see, what this combination looks like.
That's a travel. Timeout. 3:51 to play. Second half. Duke now with a huge lead over Delaware, 82-54.
This is your secret to a deliciously easy Thanksgiving. The Fresh Market offers.
Tune in tomorrow for an ACC football doubleheader. The noon game has Florida State hosting Louisiana. The Noles on a 3-game winning streak and ready to make an impact in the coming bowl season. And then at 3:30, NC State invades Louisville in an Atlantic Division shootout. So join tomorrow on November afternoon of ACC college football beginning at noon Eastern time. Check your local listings. Our boys will be working tomorrow. Evan Luppler's calling the Florida State game. Tom Wormy's got the game at Louisville. Working those boys hard.
And they love every minute of it, too.
82-54 Duke.
I always love going with Tom up to Syracuse. He's the mayor up there.
Yes.
In a long line of Syracuse broadcasters.
Do they still give him the honeymoon suite at the hotel?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Royalty.
3:35 remaining. Anderson. Here's Whitehead. Spin move to the bucket. Follow is good by Mitchell.
Wow, I mean, again, you see what's there with Whitehead, and it's just going to be a matter of timing and, when he gets his legs underneath him and confidence in that foot.
Nelson turns it over on the spin. Mitchell. And a reach in. Nelson commits his 4th. I thought for a second this shot by Whitehead was going to go down.
And no, just great control, good strength inside.
Now the freshman from Kansas City, Kansas, out of Sunrise Christian. Mark Mitchell hitting the free throw. Logan Curtis, number 3, comes in, and Nelson heads out of the game. And that might be it for Jameer. 2:56 left. Second shot for Mark. And Christian Reeves now coming in for Duke, number 21. Mitchell is finished. 86-54 Duke. Nice cut. Riley, though, couldn't make the lay-in. Move it out. Lob inside. Reeves had it blocked, got it back. Turk hooks again and gets fouled. Christian Reeves.
Yeah, it's
to the line.
You're sitting over there for 37 minutes, and all of a sudden, you come right in. You got to hit the ground running, and try to finish that pass. Did a nice job staying after the first miss. Yeah, and ho-hum, this come in with another 7-footer off the bench in Reeves.
They just come at you in waves.
With a great, pedigree him too, coming from Oak Hill.
And they've got another one from Oak Hill on the way, Caleb Foster. They were teammates at Oak Hill. Second shot good. Saw Cale Catchings come in for Duke, number 12. 88-54, 2:25 left. Reeves the rebound.
You know the thing too, Bob, I'm thinking about with all the depth that Duke has, makes for great practices, especially for the big guys up front.
Yes, Reeves with the dunk. That is an excellent point, Mike. It's so underrated. You do get better when you've got great depth like that. Your practices are competitive.
Yep.
It makes both guys better.
And especially in a time where teams don't have a lot of big guys up front that they have to work against in practice. But with this young talent and size, all these guys can get better every day.
Under 2 minutes. Whitehead stays out there to get a little playing time. He moves the ball well too. Whitehead. Reeves the rebound. Duke moves it back out with 1:19. Whitehead inside the three-point line. Nice looking stroke. 92-54.
And this, he's going to get about 15 minutes of court time, which is probably about, if they could script it out before this game, probably, about what they wanted him out there for.
Delaware is going to take a stoppage here just to substitute. I'm going to get these guys in the game. They'll forever say they played a game at Cameron Indoor Stadium. 92-54.
And you got to think that, Nelson feels bad, coming to this stage, wanting to, to put on a great performance.
And never got a chance to leave the launching pad.
Nope. Yeah, those three first half fouls, that's really tough to recover from.
Final minute. And a nice post move by Nigel Shadd. Grad transfer. He played 3 years at Kansas State, one at Pacific before joining Delaware. Too strong off the glass. And the arrow gives it to Delaware. Down to 33 seconds. Duke will improve to 3-1. We mentioned Bellarmine is up next week before the jaunt out to Portland.
Bellarmine, a dangerous team. They play a unique style. They really fly up and down the floor. Three-point shooting. It's going to be a test.
Yes. And a terrific coach. Scott Davenport, one of the great coaches in basketball and superhuman being. 92-56. No shot. And the foul on Whitehead. His second. Delaware will fall to 1-2. And I think they showed their brethren in the Colonial.
Yep,
they're going to be an upper echelon team.
Yeah, they'll be competitive. They'll be in the top third of the league for sure. And, their two big guys never got going in this game. Davis struggled 4-16 from the floor, and Nelson with his issues. And, they're not going to be able to win a game like this with those guys and those numbers.
Blue Devils will dribble out the final seconds and claim victory over Delaware, 92-58. The teams shake hands after for the most part, Mike, until the last 10 minutes of the second half, a pretty competitive basketball game.
Yeah, and I just think the depth and size and athleticism of Duke just wore this team down. It was a war of attrition, really, and that's what Duke's going to be able to do this year is come at you 9, maybe 10 guys deep.
And a lot of size.
And a lot of talent. Not just bodies coming out there.
Exactly. So John Shire goes to 3-1. They bounce back with a win after the loss against Kansas. For our entire crew here from Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, my partner Mike Jaminski. This is Bob Rathman thanking you for joining us as we say so long from Duke.
It's bow time. Put a bow on it this holiday season when you use the Bojangles app.
Just players, all of us, all right? Coaching on the floor, it's not just knowing what needs to be done. It's how do you explain and articulate to the other 5 people on the court now where they know what needs to be done. And it's different from knowing and different from explaining and teaching. And I found that with how I talk to players, how you communicate. Is it the same voice every time? Is it different tones? And are you clear? That's something over the first couple of years, I was fortunate to be thrown into the fire. After year 1, Wojo got the Marquette job. And I think I did enough in that first year where Coach saw there was an incredible hunger. And I was fortunate he handed me the backcourt. So I worked with our guards every single day. That first year we won the national championship. And I was lucky to be coaching guys like Tyus Jones and Matt Jones and Grayson Allen and Justice Winslow. And they spoiled me a little bit because there was a special group, but it also prepared me for how to advance in the profession.
On days like today, it can be difficult to come up with the right words to express what Mike Krzyzewski has meant to Duke University, to college basketball, to our community and to our